Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous video, we were displaying our messages inside of our list view in a beautiful manner. And now in this video, we are actually going to create the actual message field that is going to allow us to actually send some messages. So without anything further to do, let's get into it. So the way we're going to approach this is that we're going to create a new function. And this function is going to be responsible for actually rendering all of the UI for our actual message field. So we're going to create a new function and I'll call this our message field. This function is going to get in a build context passed into it. And then what I'll do is I'll define the actual function. So we'll return firstly a container. This container is going to house everything. So this container is going to house our text field, it's going to house this icon, and it's going to house our actual floating action button, which is going to allow us to actually send media messages. With this, what we're going to do is that we're going to define the height of our container. So the height of our container is going to be device height, and then it's going to be multiplied with 0.08. Then we'll have a decoration for our actual container. So this decoration refers to the main container that has everything, and we are actually going to add a background color to it and make the corners rounded. And for that, what we'll do is that I'm just going to copy in the box container because it's really simple. All it is this. It's a color and then a border radius. And I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F. Once we have this, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to take our message field and I'm going to go to the top of our conversation page UI function. And after our messages list view, I'll add our actual message field. I'm going to add a parenthesis after that. I'm going to add the comma, and then for the build context, I'll pass in the actual context, Alt-Shift-F, Command save, and you're going to see that the actual container shows up. But now what we're going to do is that we're going to align our actual container to the bottom of the screen. And to do that, what we'll do is that we are going to put our actual message field inside of an align widget. So I'm going to wrap this inside of a new widget, which will be align, and we'll do command dot, and then we'll do wrap with widget. And then for our widget, we'll do align. And then with that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a comma here, do Alt-Shift-F, and then for our alignment, I'm going to set alignment, and then we can do dot bottom center, do Alt-Shift-F, Command save, and the field is now at the bottom center. So with that, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go back to our actual message field, and we're going to now actually fix some styling a bit more. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add some margin to our actual container. And the reason is because our container is really like stuck to the bottom of the screen. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy in this too, because this is something that we have done a lot in this course. And all we're doing is that we're adding some margin using edge insets.symmetric. We'll use this device width times 0.04 and vertical device height times 0.03. Do Alt-Shift-F, Command save, and our message field should be in the proper position. The next thing we are going to do now is that we are going to actually have a child for our actual message field, and the child is going to be a form, and then the form is going to have a child, and this child that the form is going to have is going to be a row. The reason we need a row is because we have multiple children inside of our actual message field. We have the actual text message, we have the actual icon that gets shown, and then we actually have the actual button too. So that's why we're using a row. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to define the actual attributes for our row, and I'm going to copy these attributes in. Before that, I'll just do Alt-Shift-F, Command save to reformat the code. And then the attributes are going to be our main axis alignment, cross axis alignment, and main axis size. And I'll do Command save. So now for the children of our message field, we'll have 3 children. So firstly, we'll define our message text field, and then we'll define our actual send message button, and then finally our image message button. So I'll type in a function here, and I'll call this our message, and then text and field. And then this message text field is going to be a function that we have to define. So I'll define a new function, and I'll call this our message text field. And then what I'll do is that I'm going to open the function block. And inside of here, I'm going to return a sized box. So a sized box is just a container with a fixed size, and it's going to have a width, and the width is going to be our device's width. And then we'll multiply that with 0.55. Nextly, we'll have a child for our actual sized blocks. So the child is going to be our actual text form field. Our text form field is going to have some properties inside of it. So I'm just going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. And then what I'll do is that for our text form field, firstly, I'll define the validator function. And for our validator function, we'll get an input. And then what we'll check to see is that we actually type something in. So we'll do if our input.length is equal to 0, then we'll actually return a string which says please enter a message. And if this is not the case, then we won't return anything and we'll just return null. So and null. With that, what I'll do is that I'm going to define the actual onChanged function. And onChanged function for now, we'll just keep it empty. So input and then just empty. And this is not onTap, this is onChanged. With that, the next thing we are going to do is that we'll define our onSaved function. And onSaved function is also going to be empty for now. So input and then empty. And then finally, the last thing we are going to do is that we'll define the cursor color. So the color of the actual cursor. And this is going to be colors.white. And it's just white. Then we'll define our decoration for our text field. And the decoration is going to be our input decoration. And then we do not want any border for our actual text field. So we'll do border and then input border dot, and then we'll do actual none. And then finally, we'll have our hint text. So the text that gets displayed when nothing is inside of our text field. And I'll say type a message. So type a message. And then after that, I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. And finally, the last thing we'll do is that we are going to add the autocorrect option. And we'll set that to false. We do not want to autocorrect anything, and do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. So with that, we have our actual message text field displaying. The next thing we have to do is that we have to show our send message button. So to do that, what I'll do is that I'm going to create a new function, and this function is going to be called our send message button. Inside of here, what we'll do is that we'll get our build context and then context. And then inside of here, I'm going to return a container. And then this container is going to have a height and a width. I'll copy those in. And then after that, I'm going to add the semicolon and do Alt-Shift-F. Then this container is also going to have a child. And the child is going to be a widget which is provided to us by Flutter, which is called an icon button. It requires an icon, and the icon in our case is going to be an icon widget, which is going to be icons dot. And then we'll have send. And then after that, for the onPressed function, we'll just keep it empty for now. So onPressed is going to be empty. And then after that, I'll define the color for our icon, and the color for our icon is going to be colors.white. And then I'll do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. I'll take our send message button, and I'll go to where we actually have our message field. And after, inside of our row, after our message text field, I'll add our send message button, add a comma, and do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. And for the context, I'll send in the context. Do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. And now our actual send message button should also be displayed. So now the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to create the actual image message button. And for that, we'll also create a function, and we'll call this our image message button. And then this function is going to return a container again. So just return a container. And then we'll have a height and a width for our container. So I'll just copy them in. Then I'm going to add the semicolon, do Alt-Shift-F. After this, what we're going to do is that we're going to define a child. And in this case, the child is going to be a floating action button. And also a pre-built widget provided to us by Flutter. We'll have the onPressed function. We'll set that to empty for now. And then after that, the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to define the child for our actual floating action button. And the child is going to be icon. And then it's going to be icons.camera. And then underscore enhance. With that, what I'll do is that I'll do Alt-Shift-F, Command Save. I'll take our image message button. I'm going to go to the row, and I'm going to add this after our actual send message button, and I'm going to do command save, and you're going to see that now it gets displayed to us. So with this, I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.